Bravo, bravo to Tony Khan. I got to give him where credit is due. He definitely came in the NFL draft conference, selling the attack, wearing the neck brace, keeping kayfabe alive, and that's what he did. So I got to give him kudos for that. For a lot of the stuff that Tony Khan does not get right, I felt like this past Wednesday, the whole angle they did with Jack Perry and the Elite attacking Tony Khan, I thought that was pretty cool because and very interesting because we never seen Tony Khan get attacked by another wrestler before. That's never happened. So they're definitely trying to perhaps make this into a serious angle. Let's just hope that this angle leads somewhere and hopefully it it brings in more viewers because what AEW needs more than ever is a ratings boost. They need more people interested in the product. And I've been saying this in the past, you cannot you cannot win the fans over with dream matches every time. You can't make your product interesting, worth watching by just putting together all of these dream matches. Yes, they're cool and everything. Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson was considered the greatest match probably in AEW history. Will most likely go down match of the year. But what's mostly going to be remembered are the characters, the storylines, right? Everybody remembers Stone Cold Steve Austin versus the McMahons, right? Vince McMahon, or Mr. McMahon, right? On TV was called Mr. McMahon, right? The whole boss versus the employee storyline. Stone Cold being the rebel he was, going against the system. And it was a relatable storyline for a lot of fans. It's something that they can sink their teeth into and invest into. Stone Cold was a badass. Mr. McMahon was a self-absorbed, arrogant, and he was abusing his power. He was an asshole for the most part, right? So we've all dealt with that type of boss that's an asshole, that is somewhat, you know, power hungry, abuses their position, their authority, right? We've all dealt with that type of boss, that manager that we don't like. So that was very relatable for a lot of people, including myself. And that's what got Stone Cold Steve Austin over. That's what really made the Attitude Era kick. And that's what made Mr. McMahon lots of money. So to see Tony Khan get attacked by Jack Perry, the Elite, and I know some people are going to be criticizing the way Tony Khan sold the attack. Oh, he doesn't know how to sell. Oh, he didn't know how to take a punch. Oh, he sucks at selling. Well, that's the whole point. Tony Khan is not a wrestler. I mean, let's be real here. Vince McMahon, not a trained pro wrestler. How do you think he took the stunner? He took the stunner like shit, but it was done by design because he's not a trained pro wrestler, right? And that's what really made it real, right? It didn't have to be rehearsed. Vince McMahon knew what he was doing when he took the stunner. Because first of all, it's comical to see Vince take the stunner, right? It was always comical. You laughed every time he took it. How Linda took the stunner, Stephanie took the stunner. When a wrestler attacks a non-wrestler, They're not supposed to know how to sell. Let's keep that in consideration. When a wrestler attacks a non wrestler, a manager, a referee, even, guess what? They're not going to know how to bump correctly. They're not, because they're not an athlete. They're just there in a non wrestling role. Tony Khan's not a wrestler, so I don't know what y'all were expecting. Tony Khan's not an athlete. Okay, he just happens to run a wrestling promotion. That's it. But see, now we have an actual angle playing out on Dynamite. Now, they could fuck this up, or this could be the best thing to happen to AEW. This could be the angle that gives AEW momentum, that gives them that extra push, right? More in their stock. You know what I'm saying? Just it gives them that, I don't know how to put it. Like, it's basically the same thing with MJF when he cut that promo. You know, his own version of the pipe bomb from 2022, right? When he went off on Tony Khan and ranting on him, and he, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be to those levels of MJF, right? So now in this angle, you have Jack Perry, who just came back. You know, he's had a dispute with Tony Khan in the past in real life over contract, over, you know, contractual agreements and whatnot. You know, Tony Khan, Jack Perry attacking Tony Khan kind of makes sense because he showed footage of the man getting punked out by CM Punk. He showed Jack Perry in an embarrassing light. You showed footage of him getting choked out or getting, you know, beat up on by CM Punk. And that could be a legit reason why Jack Perry attacked Tony Khan, right? So, and then getting the Young Bucks involved makes sense as well. And Okada. You can kind of create an evolution like stable with this, right? And this can only get Jack Perry over, make him even a bigger star in the process, right? Now, me personally, I don't really care too much for the Young Bucks. I've never been a fan of their work. Okada, he's still kind of new to me. I'm not really familiar with Okada that very much. I've seen him wrestle a couple of times in AEW, not a whole lot. But the real star of this group is Jack Perry. And this is AEW's ace in the hole. And I'm glad that they decided to give us some storylines to work with here. You know, it can't just be all about wrestling. Even though AEW is a wrestling promotion, you still got to give us some storyline and angles to make things, you know, to spice things up a little bit. And going forward, Jack Perry can be a bigger star. You know, hopefully, you know, AEW can gain momentum and pick up in the ratings a little bit. You know, and there is no way that they're competition right now to the WWE. Until they hit the 1 million, 2 million mark, they're no competition at all. It's going to take them a lot of time and some work to get to that point where they are hitting a million every week, right? But you got to start giving the fans more engaging and riveting storylines. So this is a start. Hopefully, it gets better from here on out because I feel like everything else on the show, it's just not clicking. And there's a lot of talented wrestlers in AEW, a lot of talented wrestlers. I mean, my goodness, the roster in AEW is it's legendary. It really is. It's legendary. But you almost feel like sometimes they don't know what to do with the talent that they have. So you just say, okay, you know what? Go out there and put on a 5-star match. Well, how long can you do that? How long is that going to be able to sustain the fans' interest? Not very long. That's why creating characters, that's why putting together riveting storylines and angles is what's going to keep the fans engaged and keep them glued to the TV screen. That's what's going to hit at the end of the day. So Tony Khan is officially now an on-screen character, which is great. You know, he's an awkward person. You know, it'll be kind of funny to see him get attacked every once in a while. Now the question is to progress this storyline further, who do you bring in to be the kind of like the protectors of Tony Khan? Like who do you bring in? Like what are the four guys, the four baby faces that you bring in to help Tony Khan take down the elite, right? Some will say it could be the BCC, right? Blackpool Combat Club. That would make sense, right? Um, it could be maybe MJF or three other people. I don't know. I wouldn't know their names, right? Um, of course, if MJF came back, you know, he would have to resume his feud with Adam Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom, right? Because it would make sense for him to go after those guys, right? But I'm thinking like what group would Tony Khan recruit to take down the elite? And that could be your blood and guts match in July, right there. So I know that a blood and guts match is going to feature the elite versus four other guys, right? Which I'm predicting could be the BCC, right? Or another group because Brian Danielson is injured. So I don't know if that would be possible. But yeah, shout out to Tony Khan for keeping kayfabe alive. Um, I've heard he's made some pretty unpopular comments about the WWE. You know, comparing them to Harvey Weinstein. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know what made him say that goofy stuff, but like once again, Tony Khan just got to learn how to shut the hell up every now and then and just stop talking so much. You know, because I feel like the more he talks, it's like the lamer he sounds. Like just stop talking, make your product great. Who cares about you trying to compete with the WWE? It's not going to happen. Focus on your own company. Focus on putting together great television and, you know, stop posting so much on Twitter. Like, stop saying stupid stuff on Twitter. Like, get off of Twitter already. You know, that's what Tony Khan needs to do. Just stay off of Twitter. So, oh, yeah, I wanted to give my thoughts on that. I thought that was a pretty interesting angle that they came up with. And obviously, Jack Perry being back, there's some interest there, there's some intrigue. I find myself intrigued. I want to know what happens next week. So, with that being said, let me know what y'all think down below in the comment section. Be respectful in the comment section. If you call me any bad names and whatnot, I had someone call me a bad name the other day. I had to remove their comments. If you say anything derogatory toward me in the comment section, I'm just going to remove your comment and you will be blocked. I don't play those games. You know what I'm saying? Be respectful in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all hit that like button for the algorithm, and I'm out. Peace.